Hello, hello. Oh, only one here. Wow. Stereo. Stereo exists. Holy fuck. Let me fix this. Okay, I think we're good. Alright. How's it going? Let me make sure that I don't look like a fucking retard. And I'm in. I'm ready to kick ass. Life is going great today. Life is going great. Like sometimes things are complicated. Sometimes things are complicated. Today, it was hard to start the day. But goddamn, once it started, shit's going well. So, alright, that's all very good. I think that in the feature change, we're gonna want to put the new DRM color pipeline API because it's so good. It's so good. So let's explain that API. Let's explain that API. Put it into words that make sense. And right now I'm getting caffeinated, so if I'm a bit slow, that's why. We'll get into it, we'll get into it. Oh no, not another cut. Give me half a second, I'll go moisturize this, because whenever I have cuts to my hand, they never heal, and I end up with like permanent scratches that never go. Give me a second. I always find it like disgusting whenever I have moisturizer and I need to touch anything, but I need to accept it. Holy shit, my hands, I have the worst genetic. And especially here in Canada, in Quebec, we don't have any humidity in winter. So we go from extremely humid in the summer, which my hands are like, woohoo, humidity, feels good. And in the winter, it goes. It goes. Anyway. I hope it won't fuck me up too much. Alright, let's think about the new DRM color pipeline. So I'll make a TLDR for those that are like starting to watch the stream. Well, not the stream, but the playback of the stream, because right now I'm all alone. Oh, maybe not. What the fuck? The timing! Okay. So we're going to make a TLDR for the new DRM color pipeline API. Let me just finish my ends. Okay, I'll get to it. Alright. We in. Alright, TLDR. So, the way that your kernel manages everything video. This is a very broad overview. So, you have the hardware. You have the kernel. Let me make the squares and I'll explain them. I'll write them like, okay. So here is the hardware. Here we have the kernel, and let's specify what we mean by kernel. We mean DRM. So DRM is the subsystem that takes care of graphics in the kernel. And after that, we have the let's call it the user space driver. So that's the driver implementation. That's, for example, if you have an AMD driver, you're going to have half of the AMD driver inside of the kernel, the other half will be outside of the kernel, and that other half most likely is managed by Mesa. So Mesa is the big grouping of all the open source graphic driver. In front of that, you're gonna have your display server. So either it will be Wayland or X, but who gives a fuck? They're the same for our concept. And here we have the compositor. Sorry, I was about to forget it. Compositor, okay? So the compositor, its job is to produce the image and treat it given the input and output from Wayland or X, right? So the compositor is in communication with either Wayland or X, and it's pretty much just saying, okay, we've got these windows, and we've got this background or this thing. We flatten an image, and we ship it to, well, Wayland or X, which will send it to either DRM or the user space driver, depending on how things are set up behind the scene. We don't really need to get as much into what this side has to do, but just understand that the compositor, it's pretty much a press, right? So it just takes the information, slaps it, and sends it to the hardware at the end of the day. Now, I need to do some confirmation, because I'm 99% sure of this. Whenever you put a game on full screen, you bypass the compositor, right? So that's why you get more performance whenever you put a game full screen. It's because your compositor had some processing to do that it does not have to do whenever your game takes control of the whole screen. So that's a quick fun fact here. So the issue that we have is, what do you do with HDR? So when I say HDR, what I mean here is higher levels of graphics, right? We have screens now that are able to display bigger ranges of color, that are able to display darker darks, brighter brights, and these settings are a lot of the time hardware enabled, meaning that there are some pieces of hardware that you can literally tell them, hey, I've got a window this size, and I want the peak brightness to be this, I want the peak brightness to be that, and I want all of the other things to be something else. That's something that you can tell the screen, and the screen hardware will be able to process it itself. So the issue that we have is that right now we have no ability from the compositor's point of view to properly communicate to the hardware that it wants that. It can technically say, okay, we've got a HDR display, so I will do the press thing, but I'll make it with the ranges of the HDR. But that's not what we want, right? We want the optimized shit where we can actually like draw the fucking things on screen and do different processing for a different place. That's what we want, right? We want to use the hardware that's there, that's more optimized to do this, and that's less costly for the CPU or the GPU to compute. So, how do we get there? How do we make the compositor be able to communicate these parameters to the hardware? Now, the way that the new DRM color API goes with this is, first of all, it creates a pipeline, right? So we have a pipeline. When I say pipeline, what I mean is an API that you can use from the compositor's point of view, right? And it's in communication with DRM, so with the kernel side things. Now, what it can do is you can set list of settings for your colors. So if normally you would do like some kind of processing to the image, or you would say, fuck, my wording is bad on this. So normally the compositor will have some steps in order to set the ranges of color and to make the colors like they want it to be. So you can create these steps within a list of standardized, we could say, calls that you can make. They call it color OP, color operations. So these color operations, you can list them and chain them like multiple per big list. And what you can do is you can create multiple of these lists. So what you will do whenever you open up your computer, whenever you open up your compositor, is that you will check through these lists and you will see, is this list a good list for me, for this hardware? So you can go through each of these lists until you get one that fits. Now, there's a little bit more precision here that we could get into. So technically, you can put a bypass flag on these color OP, color operation, and you can tell the system that even if this is not inside of the system, still go with this list because it doesn't really matter. So that's also something that like is baked in. So first thing that we do, let's go back to the start. We open up the computer, the compositor starts, the compositor tries the list with the API, with the kernel. And whenever it got the list, it can then use it and send it to, well, the kernel, which itself will send it to the vendor-specific hardware for this. So let's say that you have an AMD card. It will use the AMD side of the DRM code to try to process these things. And that AMD side should be able to pass it along the hardware if the hardware has the capability, should be able to process it itself if it has the capability. And if not, of course, it would have needed to refuse the list or at least tell that it's an issue for that list. So this allows a very cool thing. It allows the compositor to not give a shit about HDR, because all the job that the compositor has to do, there's two things it has to do. It has to, one, create these lists so that it is compatible with HDR and it can take advantage of these. And second, it needs to be able, if it wants to have a full implementation, to do some kind of pass-through, to do some kind of, okay, so here we have a window, and this specific window requires more feature. It requires us to use that pipeline, so then we allow it to give its own instruction to DRM. So that's the second thing that it needs to do. So once those two things are implemented, you have a full-fledged, complete implementation of HDR inside of your compositor, compared to before, where each kernel, each driver, you would have to make a new implementation. Each hardware, like literal screen, if you wanted to have full-fledged support of it, you would have to create a new implementation. So of course, nobody did that, right? They just did, okay, if you have this standard, we're going to flatten the image on this way and just fucking deal with it. So TLDR, we now have a real implementation that works no matter the fuck what, right? The only limitation is that we need the kernel side driver to do its job, which of course it will. We know that people will implement all of these. Right now we have AMD, the AMD GPU driver that is supported, and we also have the software generated graphic, the shitty one, okay? We don't care about that one, but yeah, we already have that. The others are going to be, of course, in the works, and we need the compositor to follow, right? But it's less stressful for me about the compositor, because like it becomes obvious, right? If you have support for HDR and your compositor does not have that support, then it's the fucking compositor's problem, right? So you go with another one and you're all good. You don't have to be triggered about that. So I think that it simplifies a lot of things, and if it delivers as it is explained on the documentation, it is a revolution. We have something very big in here. Hello, mostly AFK today, but still watching and listening. All good, brother. I've seen all until now. No need to review. True. Oh, I was making the review more or less for, if people watch the VOD. Which they don't, but still. Hello, Cardian. Hello, MBWare. Optimization. True! Internet told me that it was an old knowledge in my brain about the KDN bypass. Everyone can bypass now. This will make compositor people work really easy. Yes, right? Most of the time, whenever we introduce new technology, we say things... Well, no. Let me phrase this correctly. We bring things that will require so much work. But right now, let's say that you're a small compositor guy, right? You're doing this on the side, you don't give a fuck. What you'll do is you'll look, okay, what's the first one to implement this fully? You'll steal their color operation, and you just throw it in your code, and it will work. So, like, it's so easy. You could explain the meaning about DRM in this context. Yes, at the very start, I think I, like, dropped the word into it, but it's true that I should make it very clear. Exactly, Guardian. Exactly. So today, I'm fucking biting on life, okay? Life has been unhingedly good. Not at the very start of this day, okay? I started my day, daughter crying, she had some issues, so it was kind of awkward, but things got better, okay? I absolutely destroyed my driveway snow, okay? That snow has been removed, okay? It was literally Canadians entering in Europe, okay? It was that level, 1945, absolute destruction. This is that level, okay? I fucked that snow. So that was fun. And my oil stock are fucking stonksing, so I'm selling. And I'm happy about it. Ah, money! Okay. The new DRM color pipeline API, I needed to share, okay? I needed to share. I'm so good. The new DRM color pipeline API has been added to the kernel. What? Okay. Now, to understand the revolution, no, the importance of this API, we must understand the problem it solves. Of course it is. Holy shit, like, first of all, this was so this was so easy to know. True! Like, this was so easy to know. At least from a Canadian point of view. Like, you have Trump fucking up Venezuela. They're not going to be able to fucking prop back production. Nothing will change about Venezuela, right? They're not going to produce more. Iran is going genocide mode, and they're trying to kill their own population. So, like, I'm laughing, but this is very bad. But for me, it means profit. So, yeah. And, like, Canadian oil is the cheapest to produce around. Like, in our sphere, like, in our little corner of the world, there's no way to produce cheaper oil than Canadian. So, even when the price go down, the Canadian stocks are still up because they're producing more. So, We're fucking winning, bro. I sold half of it. I've like... This week I've added 10% to my fucking net worth. It's not okay. So, yeah. I was over leveraged, but now I'm okay. Life is good, life is good. Okay. To understand the importance of the API, we need to understand the problem it solves. So... So the way that an image is... So there is multiple how can I make this example, right? Because I'll obviously draw like this shit on screen, but I need to word it. Okay, so there is multiple part that comes. Maybe it's that wording that is shit. To understand the importance of this API, we must understand the systems we have and the problem it solves. Here is did I say understand? We must understand to... Okay, fuck. To know... Fuck. Okay, the first one is good. To understand the importance of the API, we must know the systems we have and the problem it solves. Okay, that's to see the importance. To see. Yeah, see is even better. You're right. To see the importance of this API, we must know the system we have and the problem it solves. Here is a limited, just so people stop fucking yelling, limited view of how the system of how Linux, no, of how displays are managed on Linux. So here I could make just a list. So I'll like talk more casually here. So here we have the hardware. We have killed all the understand us to understand zero based. We are bringing back genocide to this kernel. Holy shit. Alright. Okay, enough memeing. No, but seriously, have you guys seen what's going on in Iran? It's unhinged. This fucking... The Ayatollah needs to fucking die. Anyway. Okay, so first we have hardware. Second we have DRM. Oh, I should have the full name of DRM. Linux DRM. First of all, I'm getting like bamboozled by the fact that direct rendering manager. Thank you. Direct genocide info. True, we're gonna make politics. Well, honestly, I thought about it for Canadian federal politics, but after that, I like looked a little bit more into parl.ca, which is our website, for both the Senate and the Commons. And it's really fucking good. It has everything. It has everything. So, nothing to do here. Okay, direct rendering manager. It is the in kernel code that manages the displays / or GPUs. It is the okay, most likely whenever I do this, how could we call the user side? It provides an API to your user space program, blah 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 blah. How do they call user space? Bro. Okay, thanks. I wanted to out. Let's call it user space driver. User? How do people write user space? Do they put a dash in it? Do they put just a space? They just put a fucking space, bro. User space driver. It works with the DRM. Oh, okay. It is the in-kernel code that manages the display or GPUs. It is separated in vendor specific region code region code. User space driver. It works with the DRM code. And is usually needed for proper usage of the GPU. Okay. Okay, Direct Rendering Manager, DRM. It is the in-kernel code that manages the display or GPUs. It is separated in vendor-specific code. The user space driver, it works with the DRM code and is usually needed for proper usage of the GPU. It can be seen as the second half of the vendor specific code in DRM. Just to make it fucking explicit. Alright. X/xorg slash... Well, no, it's X. Fuck. Willen. Oh no, I see it, I see it. It's going to be like, oh, X is a Windows system, and Wayland is a fucking giggly. I can already hear it. I can hear it. Bro, why did they put this logo? Looks like Wikipedia. Okay, it's a display server. And what about Wayland? It's a protocol, bro. Okay, it's a display server. Okay. Okay, display server that provides a standardized way for programs and, well, it would be drivers user space and DRM to work together. Am I retarded? I'm being French here. Okay, Guardian, you can always do the will actually if you mean it. But if it's under the actual video, I'll be triggered, okay? You need to do it now. That's the rule, okay? We're doing it live for this reason. But I use X11 on Wayland. True. You have X or Wayland. Let's put a whore. X or Wayland. It's this place. They are. Let's put they are. They are display servers. They are display servers that provide a standardized way for programs and drivers, be user space or DRM, to work together. And then it's the compositor. How do we write compositor? Bro, fuck me. Okay. I was about to be very confused. Yeah, compositor seems like the thing that will trigger a lot of people if I fuck it up. Holy early stream, indeed. I am the Lord and Savior. Holy stream. How's it going, Rust? And I don't think I've asked you all. How's life going? How's life treating you today? So early that I'm watching at work. Based. Alright, let's lower that. Getting my ears blown off. Alright. So the compositor. The compositor works with the display server in order to create the final image. I thought the user space display driver were OpenGL, Vulkan, and such things. No, those are APIs. And, well, they're APIs. They are standards that the driver must adhere to. So, whenever we talk about Vulkan, or the capability to have Vulkan, it is usually like... Well, no, maybe not Vulkan. Vulkan's a little bit more loosey, but, bro, you're gonna kill me. Guardian. Those memes are fucking based. I'm happy to hear that life is good. Life needs to be good. But, yeah, they're just APIs. They have some... Fuck, where the fuck am I trying... How am I saying this? Okay. So... Okay, my understanding. So, the DRM code. So, the in-kernel code. And the user driver. So, all of the implementation of, fuck, I'll just read, OpenGL and Vulkan, it's all in here. None of it is in DRM. DRM does not manage any of this. So, the reason why it is so important to have this user space driver is because it grants these APIs. But they are standardized API, right? And they would be even more important with Wayland, because from my understanding, Wayland will actually use these to make calls to the GPU. Which X did not. Not, like, directly to the display. From my understanding. Guardian, you abased a little bitch. Okay, the compositor works with the display server in order to create the final image to be displayed on screen. It sets the rule for how your windows should look and what processing the colors should get. New moronics comment. I mean, we probably would if we get into Gleaksner. Okay. Bro, we must. 54. Great. Wayland is catching up on venerable non-woke X11 fork. Bro. Do we have more moronic? Is this guy mentally retarded? Keshi has been putting this in their kernel patch for a while now. I've been running it for a few versions now. Haven't had any issue at all. It needs to be implemented, you retard. That guy's just seeing like a one lowly little API just chilling there, not working. And he's like, works well. Bro. Wait, here, page 3. Oh, where do you get that? God damn. Unhinge a little? Why that many comments? Are you working for real? Or... Alright. I hope that the most pro-Wayland people participate more. Okay. Okay. I threw some money at this woke commie pro-Rust worker collective. Bro, people are fucking unhinged. Okay, enough derail. Like, I feel like the Republican Jesus meme are so fucking true. Do not read the comments, they're often a waste of time. Sometimes here even... Joke almost, yes, joke almost is the right way to say it. But, no, sometimes the comments are good, right? Whenever I made the other kernel videos, the reason why I add, like, some insight into what the fuck Ken Overstreet was thinking is because he is always in the comments of Pharonics. So you can know, like, things that nobody else fucking know just by reading the comments. Yes, Republican Jesus meme, right? So it's the meme where it's like, oh, Republican Jesus, we've been walking with you for a week now. The people are starving. You've got a fish. What should we do? Stop asking for a handout. Why does he comment there? Look, normally I would say, like, oh, you're doing some, like, management of your image and you want to look very good, so you go at the place where everybody reads, right? But the issue is that if he gave a shit about his image, he would not have acted in the way that he acted. What a fucking retard. Like, I'm sorry. Like, even, like, let's take it from his point of view. Let's say that everybody's a fucking dumb fuck, and they don't want to work with you, right? They don't want to cooperate into making the kernel a better place. If everybody is working against you, and is, like, pushing against you, pushing harder won't get the shit solved, right? So then, do whatever the fuck you need to do outside of the kernel, or try to find another way to cooperate elsewhere. Because or else there's no other way, right? There's no world where, like, yelling the N-word on the mailing list will solve something. Like, it won't, okay? There's nothing good that will come of it. So, I don't know. I don't understand them. Like, it feels like there's no point where he stopped, sat down, and said, either maybe I'm wrong, or just, even if I'm not wrong, what's the pragmatic step to, like, solve this? Alright. Okay, I just need to know something. In Linux, does a full screen game bypass the compositor? That's my understanding. I fucking hate Reddit. Yes? Alright. Okay. Still confused about the Jesus meme. It is funnier than the Trump, please save me meme. The Jesus commenters need a new Temple OS release to post comment. The second coming. Well, from what we read, it looks like the DE actually enables this, but who gives a shit? Like, even if they do it differently, we can just chalk it up to a full screen game normally bypasses this. Do you know what I mean? It's a video. I don't know the Trump please save me meme. But I need to know now. Oh no. Oh no, I think I know what you're talking about. Is it when they are like all touching Trump and there's this fucking bitch that talks in tongue? That fucking isn't she like part of some kind of ministry or some shit? We're so fucked. You know what? Let's put the sound up.
Tag in Donald Trump.
Oh no, that's the one.
Donald Trump, if you can hear us, please, Donald Trump, please save me. Please save me, Donald Trump. Please.
Let's see.
I'm asking you. Please save me.
Please save me.
Please save me. Please get these people away from me.
Please get these people away from me.
In dear God's name, please stop these people. Okay.
Save me, Tom Cruise! Oh my god. How hard was it to lower your fucking window and listen to the fucking cop? This fucking piece of trash. If a black guy would get fucking locked down, like for no reason, he would make infinite reason for it. We know, we fucking know. But here, he could have complied. None of this would have happened. Like you saw, everybody in the background was like, bro, this guy is fucking zooted.
Save me, please. Get these people
They're
away
just
from me.
watching like, what the fuck is he doing? Oh my god, these people deserve the rope. Holy shit. You know what? I'm in. I'm in for a program when... Okay, first of all, I'm in for regime change, but sanest Republican, true! I'm in for when the Democrats come back to power if... Let's fucking hope. Let's fucking hope. If... We need the fucking records, okay? We need to know who voted for who. If you voted more than 2 times for Donald Trump, you get the work camps, okay? You get the work camps. Somebody needs to edit these memes and combine it with Linux somehow. Okay, I would be stokes for that, but right now I'm trying to recuperate from the fact that my main channel is hemorrhaging, okay? I stopped streaming on it, and the fucking subs came back. Bro, people don't like you spamming them with streams. But yes, we probably need to fucking spam these fuckers in the main videos too. They deserve it. Holy shit. Like have you guys seen the second shooting by ICE? Like, it's the worst. Like, if you can see that and be like, yes, I'm okay with that. Like, you're gone. You're so gone. The guy tried to protect a girl getting fucked up, and whenever he puts his body between her and the officer is macing her and beating her with the fucking can. The fucking officer drags him, put him to the ground, and he's stuck there And now he dies. Like, there's no out for him. He couldn't do shit. He didn't move, and he just got fucking locked. Holy shit. Like, if you can see that and make excuses for it, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to treat you as a human. Because you're not. Like, you're... Like, at that point, you would see fucking, like, Assad gassing his own people, and you would still be clapping, right? You don't give a fuck. You're not here with us. So, like, that's why I just don't care. You should run for President Maple. I will vote. I will vote on you. Yes, that was an execution. No, I would never run for an election because I know that I'm not, like, I'm way too toxic for this shit. I would never go into politics for that. But if I had way more time, I would cover that shit. I would. I'm way too politics brain. I love this shit. I eat it every day. And fucking, I love my Mark Carney. Give me more news from Mark. Mark's doing fucking great. We got the little music. What the fuck were we doing? Oh, bro, I could talk politics the whole day. This infects my brain. I fucking hate them. God, they fucked up so much. They had it so well. Can we just... You know what? I'll cry for half a minute, okay? The fact that the US will fall into fascism because of nothing is the most crazy thing I could ever live through. Like, think about it. World War II, Germany, Nazi Germany, was brought about because they were fucked very, very hard. They were, like, the most fucked they could ever be as a people. What was the US? The best place to live in the world? To, like, 99% of world population's eye? And they decided that because some fictitious 30 million migrants teleported into their vicinity, which is not true, of course. There's not 1 in 10 American that is a fucking illegal. Come the fuck on. Now we've got to follow the path of fascism. Now let's just... Oh my god. Oh yeah, eggs are a few cents more expensive this decade. Let's jump into dictatorship. Yes, and I'm going to be rude here. I'm going to be rude. The people that say it's the economy, stupid, they don't get it. No, they don't. They don't. It's not the economy. The economy was doing well. Very fucking well under Biden. It's never the economy. It's the vibes. And I'm so fucking done with these politicians. No, it's not the politician. It's the commentator. The political commentator, which are like, well, we should have instituted these policies. People don't give a fuck about policies. They give a fuck about what they see on the screen and what the vibes are like. That's the only fuck they give. So if their guy looks like he's commending the state like a fucking half-god, then he's going to win. It's that simple. And Biden looked like a bumbling old fuck. Which he wasn't. Obviously wasn't. Everybody fucking knows that. But it's just vibes. It's not the economy. It's the perceived economy. Bro. I fucking hate... There's so much I hate. as much as I love my country, goddamn, sometime Quebec is fucking hard to live with. Okay, independence. Why do people even want this? Fucking kill me. Oh, okay, enough. The yap's enough. Compositor, okay. Why am I getting a call? Hi. Yes, that's me. Absolutely. Was pretty immaculate. The timing was pretty well. It was the Liberal Party of Canada. The timing is on point. I love it. All right. Yeah, they found me. They found me. All right.
In this video, we're going to try to make some mathematical models of the rise and fall of countries. We'll base this off the work of Peter Turchin, who's written a number of books on the subject, both looking at historical.
I don't know. Can we really? Like, I'm sorry, but this feels like I haven't seen any of it. But this really feels like we're trying to do like, oh man, chart did this. And this is where it fails. And this other chart did this. And this is where it fails. But in reality, like there and there, they were being like retard throughout. And they just like very fucked up there. So it's nothing mathematical. It's just that the governance is being retarded. And when it gets retarded enough, it slips into fascism, communism, or some other authoritarian retardation. They are watching. Yes, they were like, don't stop. We gotta shill harder. Get to donate more. And they know what the fuck they're doing. They know what the fuck they're doing, okay? Before I donated, their amounts were all small amounts. After I donated, they're asking now for the $400, okay? They're asking for the big stack. These motherfuckers are like, hey, eye roller, give us the money. Oh man, the Liberal Party, gotta love him. Eigenvectors? What the fuck does that mean? Will we ever get back to this shit? Am I a full-time fucking politics streamer now? Is that where we are? Is that where we are? I don't remember where you're from, Rust. You're... Where the fuck are you, Rust? Like, Cardian I know, MB I know. Linear algebra to predict at work. You little bitch. But like people are over leveraging often these things, right? And that's a big issue that people, like smart people have a big problem. I'm saying smart, but retards do the same thing. Where because they don't have data, they're going to use like some dumb fucking shorthand for that data, and they end up being fucking wrong. Like how could I make a parallel for this? Okay, if anybody ever looked at, what's his fucking name? Hasmongold. He's the definition of this. He's looking at something, he's just vibing it off, and he thinks he have like some complex reason for why he thinks a specific way. But no, it's just his Twitter feed. Okay. Alright. Let's write 2 lines and then we can get back to fucking yapping. Okay? In most cases, the compositor works a lot like a press. I live in Kingdom of Lugonica. No joke. That's not a fucking kingdom, okay? Fuck, it's a thing. Okay, no, it's not a thing. It's this fucking meme, okay? It's this fucking meme. One of the 4 great nation. What the fuck is this? ReZero, Subaru, Natsuki. What the fuck is this weeb shit? If I scroll enough, will it be porn? You need to write 2 lines of scripts for it. If it's with script, it's all going to be that. In most cases, compositor works a lot like a press. It will take all the element that it wants to display, flatten it into an image, and send it to the kernel and sends it to be displayed. I want to show good anime. It's mostly just gore and depression, good stuff based. In most cases, a compositor works a lot like a press. It will take all element that it wants to show, flatten it into an image, and send it to be displayed. Under some circumstances, it's a U, right? Yes. Under some circumstances, the compositor can be bypassed, like when playing a game full screen. But for the majority of times, it will be processing the frame. I still need to watch the latest season. Guys, what is worst? Weebs or furries? I don't know. I don't know which is worse. I don't care. Right? I think that's the issue. I don't care. Like, it's so dumb. I was thinking in my head, like, do I care, like, do I care more if I know that they're, like, sexually, like, if I do, like, the hentai versus furry porn, whatever the fuck that's called. YIF, I think. Like, do I care more? And no, I don't give a fuck. Why should I care? On average, furries, but the most extremely on average furries. Oh, okay, which is the worst? On average furries, but the most extremely disturbing generated stuff comes from regular weebs. But like, do we really care? Like, I just don't get it. I just, like, okay. Like, be a degenerate, I guess. Yes, as long as it's all consensual. I like how hard Maple is thinking about this left my ass off. Yes, because, like, I feel like it's a little bit like the trans thing, right? Go back to the trans. Like, people are like, trans people, it's a problem. Which bathroom they go into. And all of these things. And I'm like, bro, we don't give a fuck. Right? If a trans people goes in the same bathroom as my daughter, do I give a fuck? No. And then the argument will like be, oh, but what if they're like gigapedophiles? Well, if they are gigapedophiles, the problem is that they're a pedophile, not that they're trans. I'm like so confused about these things. Maybe I don't care too much. Anyway. Fucking hell. Okay, in most cases, the compositor works a lot like a press. It will take all the elements that it wants to show, flatten it into an image, and sends it. We're talking about the compositor, and sends it to be displayed. Under some circumstances, the compositor can be bypassed, like when playing a full-screen game, but for the majority of time, it will be processing the frame. Alright. This is where our issues start. modern screens have the ability to process some instructions themselves. They also have more complex, more possibilities on the amount or detail of colors shown. Modern screens, this is where the issue starts. Modern screens have the ability to process some instructions themselves. They also have more possibilities on the amount of color shown. Under our current system, an HDR display would require the compositor to send a compatible HDR frame that has been fully processed by the compositor without using the hardware, the circuits of the screen. This makes the job of the compositor devs way more complicated, as they have to implement a lot of redundant redundant code for different styles, for different features that the display or user may require. Okay, fuck. Let's read this. Or maybe not. This makes the job of the compositor dev way more complicated, as they have to implement a lot of redundant code for different features that the display or user may require. The solution for this is the DRM Color Pipeline API. it allows the compositor to create lists of operations that it wants to be done to the image. These operations called they're DRM underscore color OP, right? DRM color pipeline API. DRM color OP. These operations called DRM color OP I should define what the fuck these operation is. It works by creating standard operation called DRM color OP. These operations can be chained together in lists and used on different part of a frame. When opening the compositor, at opening, the compositor will test multiple lists of operations to see which one is compatible with the DRM, with the screen. Hardware and vendor specific DRM code, allowing it to at initialization. True. Initialization. At initialization, the compositor will test multiple lists of operations to see which one is compatible with the screen hardware and the vendor-specific DRM code. Allowing it to use the most complete one. I should define more this. These operation can be chained together in a list and used on different parts of a frame. They can also I need to say that they are handled by DRM. They are processed by well, they are processed either by the screen hardware or vendor-specific DRM code. Okay, this can go. Okay. The solution for this is the DRM Color Pipeline API. It works by creating standard operation called DRM Color OP. These operations can be chained together in lists. These operations can be chained together in lists, in a list, and used on different parts of a frame. They are processed either by the screen hardware or vendor-specific DRM code. At initialization, the compositor will test multiple lists of operations to see which one is compatible with the screen hardware and the vendor-specific DRM code, allowing it to use the most complete one. This allows the processing of the frame to be standardized and removes the redundant, how do we say redundant again? Redundant, and removes the redundant code that was once needed to process the HDR frames. This also allows a program to set its own rule for how to process its frames. Let's think of an image editor. It might need to have some specific processing in order to display the correct colors. The compositor will now be able to act as a pass-through. How do we say pass-through? No T. I guess it's not a word. Fuck it. The compositor will now be able to act as a pass-through, allowing the image editor to set its own policies and allow unbothered by any other processing. Have I explained everything? I think we're going to read from the beginning and we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Progress. The new DRM color pipeline API has been added to the kernel. To see the importance of this API, we must know the systems we have and the problem it solves. Here is a limited view of how displays are managed on Linux. So here we have, of course, the hardware, we have the DRM, the Direct Rendering Manager. It is the in-kernel code that manages the display or GPUs. It is separated in vendor-specific codes. Progress, yes. We also have the user space driver, so it works with the DRM code. It is usually needed for proper usage of the GPU. It can be seen as the second half of the vendor-specific code in DRM. We also have X or Wayland. They are the display servers that provide the standardized way for program and drivers, user space and DRM, to work together. We also have the compositor. So the compositor works with the display server in order to create the final image to be displayed on screen. It sets the rules for how your windows should look and what processing the colors should get, the frames. And what processing the frames should get. In most cases, the compositor works a lot like a press. It will take all the elements that it wants to show, flatten it into an image, and send it to be displayed. Under some circumstances, the compositor can be bypassed, like when playing a game full screen, but for the majority of time, normally, it will be processing the frame. This is where our issues start. Modern screens have the ability to process some instructions themselves. They also have more possibilities on the amount or detail of color shown. Under our current system, an HDR display would require the compositor to send a compatible HDR frame that has been fully processed by the compositor, without using the circuits of the screen. That is without using the optimized. Okay, under our current system, an HDR display would require the compositor to send a compatible HDR frame that has been fully processed by the compositor. That is without using the optimized circuit of the screen. This makes the job of the compositor devs way more complicated, as they have to implement a lot of redundant code for different features that the display or user may require. The solution for this is the DRM color pipeline API. It works by creating standard operations. There's multiple one. It works by creating standard operations called DRM color OP. I should say op, probably, color op. Anyway, these operations can be chained together in a list and used on different parts of a frame. They are processed either by the screen hardware or vendor-specific DRM code. At initialization, the compositor will test multiple lists of operations to see which one is compatible with the screen hardware and the vendor-specific DRM code, allowing it to use the most complete one. This allows the processing of the frame to be standardized and removes redundant code that was once needed to process an HDR frame. This also allows a program to set its own rule for how to process its frame. Let's think of an image editor. It might need to have some specific processing in order to display the correct colors. The compositor will now be able to act as a pass-through, allowing the image editor to set its own policies unbothered by any other processing. Which ones are compatible? Compatible HDR frame. Compatible with... Okay. Oh, which one are? Okay, I get it. The compositor will test multiple lists of operations to see which one are compatible with the screen hardware and the vendor-specific DRM code, allowing it to use the most complete one. True. Which ones? That's a great fucking catch. Alright, right now the only thing that we don't have is a closing of the loop. Like, I think that I'm passing by a pretty good understanding. So right now we should outline that not every driver has this. So I should say, not all DRM. Not all DRM drivers. Not all DRM drivers have the capability to process, to use the pipeline. For now, only AMD GPU and whatever the fuck the other is. Oop. AMD GPU. For now, only AMD GPU and the generic virtual KMS. And the generic virtual KMS drivers are able to. Are implemented. Not all DRM drivers have the capability to use the pipeline. For now, only AMD GPU and the generic virtual KMS drivers are implemented. Who else? There's like not that much. Words! There's like only one compositor that has done the job of making things work. So, woo, compositor. Okay. Valve Gamescope as well as KDK-Win. Woo! And Wayland Weston implementation are monthly early when they're working on their support. Implement it. Sure. Not all DRM drivers have the capability to use the pipeline. For now, only AMD GPU and the generic virtual KMS drivers have implemented it. Because at the end of the day, it's to the past, right? All right. On the compositor front. On the compositor front, Valve's Gamescope. What the fuck is this? I've never heard of this. SteamOS compositor. Well, this would make sense that they have like a GigaOP, don't process shit compositor. Yeah, okay, I get it. All right. On the compositor front, Valve's Gamescope as well as... I don't need to phrase this. Valve's Gamescope, KDK-Win, and Wayland's. And Wayland's Weston implementations are being worked on. Because I don't think that they're finished. At least use couch language. This is huge in the long words, milestone, okay, Valve Gamescope as well as KDK-Win and Wayland Weston implementation are among the early Wayland compositor implementation that have already been working on this support. So they've been working. We're not there yet. Being worked on. Okay, let's just see if it's a good ending for this. Not all DRM drivers have the capability to use the pipeline. For now, only AMD GPU and the generic virtual KMS driver have implemented it. On the compositor front, the Valve Gamescope, KDK-Win, and Wayland's Weston implementations... I don't know if that's a great wording. On the compositor front, Valve's... Alright. On the compositor front, Valve's Gamescope, KDK-Win, and Wayland's Weston's implementations are being worked on. Right. I imagine it will take years or so until we actually see some implementation. Nah, I disagree. just like it was with the anti-sync stuff. Valve will be before that if they want it on the new hardware. Look, from my understanding, the push is not that hard to do, right? Because we're talking about a lot of different people having to work together, but each of their part is not really that hard. Okay. So, my bad, Telmaster. Python again. Base. So, like, okay. Let's do this again. Bro. Okay, hardware. We have X. Boop, 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 boop. We have Wayland. We have DRM. We have a driver. We have an app. And we have the compositor, right? So here what we're saying is there needs to be some work for the like vendor specific code on DRM, which shouldn't be too bad because it should pretty much be some fucking copy paste implementation almost, right? And the compositor, same thing. Once one guy has made it true, it's copy paste for the other compositors. So the only part that I think might be fucked is, again, the hardware communications, right? Because if the screen has got some magical processing power, I'm sorry, I have no faith in us being able to map out which screen has magical processing power and which chip and how, right? Unless this is highly standardized, which I doubt, this is going to take a long time. But the rest of it, like the HDR being processed by DRM, the DRM specific code being like added, I have no doubt about that. And then the compositor, I mean, the compositors that they have listed like already encompass what? Half of users? IKEA man. Enigma. Okay. I have been summoned by somebody muttering optimization. My awakening code. People like to bitch about only using LTS stuff, so I see. Taking until the next LTS kernel. Well, it's going to be soon, right? We're talking this year? So... I don't see how it's an issue. Like, okay. I think that everything that Valve put their fucking heads to, it will be done very fast, right? And it's, like, it sounds dumb maybe to our, like, feeble, non-capitalistic, too capitalistic brain, but it is an advantage for a Valve dev to code things that are not going to work on any Valve hardware, just so implementations make their way and everybody, like, goes on to use the same code as they do. Yes, some people are still stuck with the LTS thing. That's because of how garbage Arch was before. Or before that, it was Gen 2, but who gives a shit? Like, I mean, it took me trying Arch again years to believe that it wasn't an issue, right? So it's normal for them to be like, nah, only LTS, fuck you. Alright, I think that's a good ending for this. So let's just put some comments, some pointers. So that being there, that makes sense. And we could put, let's close this. this. And it's probably a good idea that I put this as a featured change. Right? We're gonna do some reordering for the featured change. So we're going to start with this magic optimization thingy because it feels good for the brain. I feel like this PCI thing, some people may sleep through it, so I'm kind of scared of putting it first. So I'll put it last. Because the DRM thing, pretty freaking visual. I hope you are right. If you're talking about it being implemented, yeah, I'm like very fucking sure about it. Well, not to brag, but I have all general shades of the kernel. What? Anyway, how's your day? Is your research going flawlessly? Well, we've yelled. Did someone clip Maple praying for Trump? Nigma needs to see this. True! Yes, we've talked politics at the start. It was funny. Well, by funny I mean rage-inducing, but who gives a fuck? I do feel a bit better. That's great. And now God will strike me down just for stating that. That's okay. God will always strike you down. God is a little bitch. And you know what? I'm ready to fuck him hard with my old stock. We need more oil. Get that petroleum. Alright. It's for sure being like fucking dumped right now. And I couldn't give less of a shit. Alright. Alright. LAS is a big thing. So it's good that we start with Intel for this thing. This is interesting. I feel like everything else is going to be lean as fuck because the start is so heavy. And I don't know if I even care. It's a meme where the guy is getting his shit kicked in by the police and he's like, Trump, Trump, save me, please, Trump, save me. It's really funny. I don't know, did I keep the video? No, for sure I got the fuck out of there. Alright. Let's go on, we've got more GPU shit to look at. AMD GCN 1.0. Oh no, we don't care about that. So more updates to the drivers. Smart power OLED. Wow, I don't give a fuck. Variable refresh rate fix. Fuck that. Alright. Initial Intel Z3 enablement. Do we even give a shit? Nah, let's just say that, I guess. You don't pray to God Emperor Trump Sama every day, Enigma? Oh, man. It's unhinged how people think. He's being sarcastic, Enigma, okay? Cardian is being sarcastic. Oh my god. Whoops. Okay, Linux 6.19 will finally support Intel Adaptive Sharpness Filter. Are you fucking kidding me? What did it do? No! Oh, okay, there's... So it fuzz out the image? It really just fucking fuzzed the fuck out of the image. Who gives a fuck? Bro, I'm not even going to be able to explain this. Intel selling garbage again. I have nothing against Intel. But like, okay. Okay, I'm gonna be rude. This sharpness setting in gaming, I don't get it. I don't get it. Like, yesterday I did some setting for my deadlock because it lags a little bit. Because I have a shit computer. And I was like, bro. What the fuck does sharpness do? Does it lower my performance? Does it improve it? It feels so fucking useless. Like, fuck it. Fuck it. Like, we'll finally... We don't even know what the fuck it is. You know it's bad whenever there's an example, and it doesn't help. You know it's bad. You know it's bad. Maple Circuit podcast with Kent when. The problem is that anybody with a brain would watch my stream before going on a podcast, and they would see that I would not be on their side. And I would be like, okay, Kent, I'm gonna have to have an explanation here. How the fuck were you that retarded? Why did you do this? And whenever he goes on to a fucking schizo rant, I would be like, do you recognize that you're the only dev stating this? Have you voted for Trump? It would be that, okay? With increased sharpness, if you use a blade in an FPS, you deal more damage. I truly thought that I would get an explanation. I truly thought. You... MBE just fucking... MBE is ice right now. You fucking pistol whip my ass. Okay? I was like, oh, a friend! The only good monitor are the lizards one. MB were baited. M-baited. I don't know what the fuck you mean about the lizards one. Oh, okay, you mean... okay, I think I know what you mean. What's the name? You wiped my brain of the knowledge. Now I just have the one that did all the projectors with the little parrots, right? God damn. Brain's gone. True, but you fail to realize that our monitors aren't as cool formed as yours. Okay. Episode 1. Is Londuke a retard? No, it would be like, is Londuke a retard or just a Nazi? That would be it. We do a bit of trolling. That's okay. That's okay. You can troll me all you want. I just might call you a retard. Might. Okay. I'm getting baited. Like, I'm thinking... Not that company. What's the other one? Well, lizard. That's a fucking frog retard. What's the other one that I'm thinking about? Fucking parrot. Bro, show it, show it. Yes! Bro. That ain't it. That ain't it. Fuck. Now I look like a, fully schizo. You know what? We should... that's what we should do. We should do, before we do a stream with, like, Londuke or Kant, I do only that for the full stream, right? So he's like, oh, we're gonna watch what this guy is doing. And we're just like, parrots? Parrots? What's the logo for parrots? Yeah. Yeah, did you watch... Did you watch Joe Rogan? Vaccines are gay. And for sure they're going to come in. That's a... yes, it is. It's because of Enigma's comment about my cool form monitor. We'll need to go in blacksmith rabbit hole. Okay. Puns aside, can you go back to searching parrots and turn disable AI? Lol. If Google search has that. I'm not using Google search, I'm using Bing. Bing bong. Bro. Do we have disable AI? Safe search, moderate. I'm living on the... I'm living... Yes! Let's get some parrot porn! There's a part of me that want to know if it's going to be dumb, okay? What's the name of the fucking parrot projector? I'm so triggered. Bro, this is a war crime. Is it like Panasonic? And I'm a fucking retard? No? Where the fuck does the parrot come from? Based. Maple AI is hallucinating. That's the company dog. Bro, I'm so cooked. Bro, why am I the only one knowing this? I'm making memories here. Okay, fuck this. Fuck this. I feel... I'm smoking crack. You got Mandaled. Actually, I just wanted to show a depressing image. Maybe you need more sleep. I slept too much today. Oh, I'm just focusing on things that I shouldn't. Bro, all of these news are gonna be garbage. It's like, oh, Nova driver. Like, bro, I don't give a fuck. Get me to the FS news. Give me to the FS news. And even then, it's going to be fucking garbage. We know. Oh, we've got the adrenochrome. Like, bro, this is so uninteresting. We're not talking about this. Like, I think I need somebody to back me up here. Does anybody really look at this news and is like, oh my god, the GPU support for Snapdragon X2, oh my god. Under the go, you choose. Yes, 7,000 Microsoft points. You can stop using it now. True. True, I've got so much points, and you can buy shit with this. And I claimed a bunch of shit. I didn't win anything, but who gives a fuck? I should, instead of like putting myself in these fucking giveaway thing, I should just use it to buy like a Microsoft gift card. I am not a pixel accurate fanatic, but some people do. I see headline. Oh great, I wish I had that. Based. Like, I don't fucking care. Nuvo supports for larger pages and compression. Like, maybe... Like, this sounds good. This sounds like newsworthy fucking thing. The Snapdragon stuff is awesome. Yes, the CPU itself is awesome. I look at anything Qualcomm relating and think, sure, we will never see a single device tree ever to actually use that with actual Linux. That's the issue, right? Like, we can meme about it, but when the fuck are you going to use a laptop with it? Maybe I will someday. Where is the news about Canadian backdoor? Canadian backdoor! True! I want to see fucking Mark Carney and backdoor my OS. I'm all in! Please, please, I pray to you, Mark Carney. Please backdoor my OS. Backdoor order, okay? I need the kernel to be so vulnerable to you. Oh dear Lord Carney. Okay. Fuck it. I'll go take a piss and I'll be back. Support the juicy silicon. Alright. Nuvo driver to support larger pages and compression support, while Nova driver continues to be developed as a modern Rust written open source and in-kernel NVIDIA graphic driver for Linux. For the time being, Nuvo is what's working for end users, for those wanting a mainline open source NVIDIA graphic driver for gaming and other workloads. Hey. With Linux 6.19, the Nuvo driver is picking up support for handling larger pages as well as compression support. Sent out today was the latest round of DRM MISC Next update, intended for Linux 6.19. Standing out there on the Nouveau side is enabling support for larger pages and compression support. With the necessary Nouveau memory management changes in place, support for pages larger than the kernel page size is supported. The patches explain, currently, memory allocated by VM bind UAPI can only have a granularity matching page size. To have a better memory management and allow big 64 kilobyte and huge to minibyte pages later in the series. In the series, we are now passing the page shift all around the internal of UVMM. Now that everything in UVMM knows about the variable page shift, we can select larger values. It is proposed... The proposed approach rely on nouveau _bo ... page unless it would cause alignment issues, in which case we fall back to searching an appropriate shift. And compress DPT. I did a bit of AI research on this. Chinese microscopic firing device found in Canadian oil. And here is why that's a good thing. That would be... Yeah, that would be me. That would be me. I would defend every fucking... I would defend, okay? I'm here to defend anything. Alright. What did I read? What did the AI fucking vomit to me? Let's go read again. I don't pay for you just to draw fucking kittens. Hi, Rust. Meow. By the way, did you watch the first proper Linux GPU benchmark? I don't know what that means, so that means probably no. Chill WCat. How the fuck do we... Bro! Oh. Bro. I love the little kitten! Oh yeah, that's deep fucking research. I have no fucking idea what the fuck this is. Help. Nice boomer fail. True. By Nexus. I don't know if I care, Enigma. If it's that interesting, drop a link in Discord. Okay. Oh, okay. I think I get it. Gamer Nexus? Are we talking about like this? Or is this like YouTube? Oh, okay, this fucking guy. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, this guy gives me the ick. Oh boy. Hick. Ah, okay, I get it. So he's probably just shitting on Nvidia because all he does is shitting and being a fucking populist. Yeah. Alright. Alright, fuck it. I'll do the TLDR of what I already know, okay? So you got GPU, RAM, okay? VRAM, and you've got your non-GPU RAM, which in this case we are going to call, ooh, trash truck. Dumpster truck. The work RAM, okay? I need the logo, okay? I fucking need the logo. Somebody throw the fucking work RAM. Bro, why am I boomering that hard? Can I, like, do this? And do this? No? Ah. Why? That would have been so good. Alright. So we have VRAM. And we have RAM. So under the old system, the way that it works when you wanted to put shit on the GPU is you needed to call the kernel and tell it, hey buddy, we've got RAM here, shove it there, and you needed to wait for it to do its thing, and then you could do some more shit. The thing is that, bro, Vulkan requires you to manage the RAM. So instead of being a little bitch and asking the kernel every time, you ask the kernel for management of VRAM. And once you do that, you have like a set of RAM thing that are automatically transported to the VRAM thing so that you can now manage it. Youpidoo. Automatically. So now the issue that comes with this is that your VRAM is not like your standard RAM. Your standard RAM can be walkthrough. Like the page table walk is something that is very fucking efficient here. It's not in here, right? Here, they're garbage at it. So having bigger pages means a lot more here than it means here. So that's why it's important. All right. Vulkan map buffer stuff. Yes, exactly. No, he was just very honest and polite, called everyone that compares Windows and Linux 101 a retarded idiot. I think... Okay. Nigma, I'm gonna be rude. I think that you have no ability to know if he's a fucking retard. You know what? He is. He always does the same fucking thing. He always... Fucking hell, we're doing this. He always fucking do it. Bro, kill me.
I love Greenland, but it doesn't love me back.
Okay. Fucking retard. Fucking gigamemer. Like, it's so retarded. Like, it's all fucking brain rot. Which ones should I... Okay, if I click on that, will he actually explain, like, everything or how it's good or bad? But he'll make the whole video will make you feel as if it's bad, right? But he will never explain why, but he will always put the fucking thing like as if it's bad.
NVIDIA had a lot to announce in its 93-minute Consumer Electronics Show keynote.
We would like to have this AI stay with us our entire life and remember every single conversation we've ever had with it, right? People ask, where's the money coming from?
Yes.
This last year was incredible. This last year, there's a slide coming. This is what happens when you don't practice. It's our first keynote of the year. I hope it's your first keynote of the year. Otherwise, you have to be pretty busy. Basic way of building applications using language models. These models are also world-class. All systems are down. This never happens in Santa Clara. I think my system's still down, but that's okay. I'll make it up as I go.
Brought to you by the most powerful tech company in the world, and the company in charge of the global economy. So it's not the strongest start. But you know, Jensen, AI is a little bit scary for a lot of people. So give us something cute, something that helps us drop our guard. But maybe if you think about it a little too much, it's still terrifying. You got anything like that?
With Brev, I can share access to my Spark and Richie, so I'm going to share it with Anna.
Hey Richie, what's Potato up to?
He's on the couch.
I remember you don't like this.
I'll tell him to get off.
Hasta la vista, baby.
That's right, NVIDIA saw Dogtober and decided it wants in on that market.
This is, wow, super heavy. You have to be a CEO in really good shape to do this job. Okay, all right. So this thing is, I'm gonna guess, this is probably, I don't know, a couple of 100 pounds. I thought that was funny too.
Oh! Have you guys heard this one? You laugh.
Am I going to be fucking brain rot the whole fucking way? Yes, but consumer advocacy, like, doesn't mean anything.
Laugh that way because you know you're
I don't know.
wealthy.
Can we get to
NVIDIA
somewhere?
did, though, have other important and good news. In case you were wondering, NVIDIA is still accelerating everything Palantir does.
Palantir, for example, their entire AI and data processing platform is being integrated and accelerated by NVIDIA today.
That's right. What is it Palantir does again?
The data mining firm Palantir faces backlash over its partnership with ICE. The government agency paid the company $800 million last year.
Our product is
Okay.
used on occasion to kill people.
Ah, good. Killing people. The good news is that Jensen Huang doesn't need people where he's going.
That's your future. We're gonna give, yeah, you're gonna be born inside these platforms. Pretty amazing, right?
Before that, this video is brought to you by Thermaltake and their View 600 TGKs. The View 600 at all. There was a good amount of news. They just didn't put.
Like, okay, so right now we have 5 minutes of unmitigated just memes. And the memes, the whole meme, is saying that it was awkward and saying that Palantir is like a giga army going to kill people, and again, like having that vibe. It's fucking waste of time.
And maybe that's
Go
because,
on.
as NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang has said, the keynotes serve a different purpose.
When we give a keynote, everybody's stock price goes up.
NVIDIA's stock didn't move much during the keynote, but Jensen did give the audience a
Okay. Will this whole video be him not understanding what the fuck is the goal of communication from a CEO's point of view?
a slathering of corpo slop speak for 93 minutes as he moved around on the stage to prove to shareholders that he's healthy enough to continue being CEO.
You have to be a CEO in really good shape to do this job.
But it was 93 minutes for a good reason.
We have about 15 keynotes worth of material to pack in here.
Please, God, no. Please don't do that. NVIDIA's keynote covered a medley of the company's greatest hits like AI, self-driving cars, robots, AI, autonomous vehicles and machines, AI, and of course, money.
Yes.
What that means is some $10 trillion or so of the last decade of computing is now being modernized to this new way of doing computing. It's $100 trillion of industry, several percent of which is R&D budget, is shifting over to artificial intelligence.
Almost $800+ billion.
Hundreds of billions of dollars. Well, it turns out we have billions of dollars of supercomputers in operation. These are billions of dollars. Let's say a gigawatt data center is $50 billion. It's a couple $100 billion of VC funding.
Other than money, the keynote's few newsworthy details included Vera Rubin details on the company's upcoming platform that includes, it says, 6 new chips within one, as it calls it, AI supercomputer. They also had gaming news, but we'll come back to that. Kind of like how they never did. Jensen spoke at length about how NVIDIA co-designed the 6 new chips, the Rubin GPU, Vera CPU, NVLink 6 switch, ConnectX 9 SuperNIC, Bluefield 4 DPU, and Spectrum 6 Ethernet switch, and mentioned how these would lower AI costs and improve performance. Jensen Huang even invited his robot friends to the stage from last year as well.
I invited some friends. Did they come? Hey guys, hurry up.
He then spent the ensuing 20 to 30 minutes doing the talking to an empty chair routine while he weirdly addressed the robots for everything instead of the audience. He was still using the second person you, but he would look over there at the robots, and the audience seemed very confused about what to do. But maybe he's just preparing for when he replaces the entire audience with AI.
There's no GeForce gamer in the room.
Jensen and the NVIDIA pet robots unveiled Robots on Parade with the sure shot, sure to make investors
Okay, maybe I need to explain. Maybe this is not obvious for most people, okay? I'll fucking stop this video and I'll just start explaining. So, the goal of these keynotes and the goal of any communication from a CEO to the people that actually invest is to make the vibes immaculate and to quiet down the fears that the investors have. So if you have ever listened to one of these, either keynote or, if we're outside of tech, just the communication or the report or the like financial report of a company, what they're going to tell you, if they're growing the fuck up, is that the growth won't stop. So here, when he's like, oh, it's cringe, it's AI, they're not talking about gaming. Gaming didn't grow. Gaming wasn't making Nvidia money, right? Gaming is not where the money is. AI is. The growth of Nvidia is backed by the fact that people need the compute because of AI. So whenever this retard is like, I'm not talking about gaming, he's just like brain dead. It's a little bit as if like everybody was starving in your city and you were like, but I want to talk about gaming. Like, where are you? Are you fucking retarded? Like, that's the first thing that comes to my mind. Second thing, like, it just feels so tone deaf. Like, you're just trying to like make people rage against something that is just normal, right? Yes, it's slop, but it's slop that has a direction to it. It's a retarded direction, right? Like a lot, that's such a common retarded problem, is that people will blame company for, or CEOs for something that the system allows. So your government has a responsibility to regulate different markets in order for them to have correct rules. If you are playing chess and in your special rules of Chess Plus, you can pull out a gun and shoot the other person. Whenever you play Chess Plus, it is your duty to have a fucking gun and Glock the other person first, or else you will die. Same thing is true in business, okay? So if you don't act to the limits of what is legal, to the limits of your purview, of whatever the fuck you can do, you are retarded, and the investors can and will sue your ass for it. So when people are like, you're doing stuff with Palantir. Yes, it turns out that somebody using a lot of AI compute, they will want to be part of that. Fucking retards. And whenever, like, think a little bit further. Think about from Nvidia's point of view. Okay, we do a keynote and we drop all of these names into it, so that what that will do is that people will invest in these companies too. So whenever a CEO is like, where should we order our GPU? Should we order them from AMD when they do a keynote? Like, nobody really buys the new stuff that they do, right? And nobody buys the stocks with which AMD aligns themselves with? Or should we pay a premium and go with Nvidia, which whenever they call out, their stocks goes up, right? So you will choose Nvidia in that case. But like that flies over his head. That's like as if it's a bad thing or it's not normal. Like, to me, it would be so much better for the universe if this fucker, instead of doing this slop, would be like, yes, they are doing this, and this, but then follow it by, it is normal and expected because of literally what I just said. Anytime a CEO does public communication, it's to the shareholders, never to the consumer, client, reviewers. True. Like oil again, okay? I was there for a fucking how do they call it? Anyway, it was a communication for Cenovus, which is the big oil company in Canada, and like the whole communication was always built around, we know the market is fucked. We know that the outline is that the prices of oil will go down. we know that the output of America is getting up, but our oil is so fucking cheap and we're in such low debt that they will go through bankruptcy before we die. This was the whole communication. And that's the job of the CEO to say that, right? Because their job is to keep stocks up. Nothing bad about that. If you want to change, like, I'll go back to your prior comment. Exactly. Consumer advocacy doesn't change a thing. Company will do company things. Yes. The only thing that will change something, the only good consumer advocacy is not to consumer advocacy to the company, it's to consumer advocacy to the government. That is the one that actually sets the rules, right? But the big issue is that people want things that are fucking idiotic, right? Whenever we say right to repair, well, right to repair to a certain point, right? Because there's a certain point where you cannot have any warranty if you allow this level of repair. If you say that every computer needs to have the right to be repaired whatever the fuck they want and the warranty to still be valid, well, then you're fucked if you're a big company, so you're never issuing a real warranty because people can just break their shit and send it back to you, right? So there's this balance, but nobody's going to talk about that. Of course. It's way too fun to just yell about consumer advocacy and say that the things can be repaired and never talk about, like, the cons and the pros of a specific approach. His videos are most towards the complaints and do odd takes on Twitter instead of actually doing anything, people. Oh, okay, I got your comments, yes. It's almost like they're trying to logically plan out their income, yeah? Well, yeah, the job of a company is always to be, like, giga rational, to, like, go through all the possibilities and to maximize profit, and that's their goal, and it's good. We want that, right? That's it's something that is so crazy that people think is bad. It's not bad. We want that, right? Just think about it. If you're invested in the company, which let me make it clear, like, we're all, sorry MB, we're all young here, okay? We're all young here. But most people have a lot, if not most, of their wealth in stocks, in index fund, in some investing account, where if stock goes down, it is bad for them. The stock going up does not just mean that company Nvidia is richer. It means that the people are richer. Anyway. So Nexus is kind of a hardware slop channel. Okay, at the very start, sorry, I'll read all the comments and then I'll say what I have to say. I was talking about your rant of Nvidia CEO talk. Yes, I know. By the way, sorry that I hit a nerve. No, you don't have to be sorry. I wasn't aware Nexus is a kind of hardware slop channel. No, it's not bad. I'm not frustrated towards you. And there's a reason why at the very start I said something akin to, I don't believe that you are equipped to know if it's good or not good. Because what Gamer Nexus does is he inscribes a vibe. He creates a vibe. And it's something that, like, how can I say that? He tries to hijack your emotion to have something that is completely vibe-based, and so that you just follow whatever the fuck he says, right? It's a little bit like when Trump supporters just say, like, oh, they were terrorists, they were that, and they just accuse. It's just to keep the vibe going. There's no logic, there's no truth, there's no, like, actually trying to make things better. It's just vibes. So that's why it's triggering to me to see that guy is because that guy brings nothing good. And every time he yells, I watch one of his fucking videos and it seems that there's nothing to it. He's never right. He's just being populist. It's fucking triggering. The Linux benchmark was really firm, so mostly some players that shows actual. I'm not saying that all of his videos are bad, okay? Not all. And maybe he has some good thing, right? It's not an issue to watch a video from somebody that even I don't like, or maybe you don't like. I do that shit often, right? It's okay. It's just like we need to keep that in mind. That's all I'm saying. Like, GPU prices crater before the inevitable opportunity to screw consumers. If we go look into that, what are the odds that there's nothing here that is meant to screw consumers? Like, the corrupt memory industry and Micron. If I go look into that, what will I get? Like, it's just dumb. Okay, enough. Enough. We've been memed enough. Close enough to the sun. We need to explain this shit. Whoops, sorry. Bit too high. Am I getting spammed? Somebody join the fucking channel. Someone joins Discord as I'm fucking ranting like a lunatic. Based. Alright. Alright. Less brain rot, more Mozart. True. Okay. In the context of the Nouveau driver, the open source driver for NVIDIA GPU, UVMM stands for User Virtual Memory Manager. What the fuck's the news? Alright, I don't want to go... and waste too much time on this. Nouveau driver. D. Nouveau driver. Now supports larger pages and compression. Based. Okay. In the DRM code, So here we are talking about the DRM side driver. More SM Super Mario 64 OST. Did you try to use LLM to reverse engineer the charger? Maybe that's not meant for that. All right. Ah, fuck. I don't want to make this like an overall crazy complicated thing. Bro, can we have the real... I had a full explanation for this somewhere. Where's the patch? Fuck. Large. Mary Gilmore. The new VM-bind interface only supports 4K pages. This was problematic as it left performance on the table because GPUs don't have sophisticated TLB and page walker hardware. That's what I was talking about. It will help you focus, trust me. Yes, because I was tired, just wanted to get simple result. What is the NDC voltage of the full bridge curve? Upon some AC voltage, accuracy kept giving me 2 result, but deeply varying voltage. So... yeah, maybe it's not meant for that. Always try to get the tool that is appropriated for whatever the fuck you want to do, right? Additionally, the hardware can only do compression on large and huge pages, which is a performance booster. Alright, and VM bind. Traditionally, the kernel driver managed the GPU virtual address space. When a user space application like a game wanted to use memory, it asks the kernel to allocate a buffer, and then the kernel decides where to map it. UVMM shift this control to user space. It implements the VM bind model, a generic DRM concept, which allows the user space driver, e.g. MISA, NVK, to explicitly tell the kernel, take this piece of memory, map it to exactly this memory address. Alright. Now, since the advent of Vulkan, no. Fuck, how will I phrase this? Okay. All right. Okay. For the nouveau driver now supports larger pages and compression. So here we're talking about the DRM side driver. So it has been required for some time that the user space be directly responsible, there's an N there, responsible for the management of the VRAM. This is a requirement from Vulkan. It has been a requirement from Vulkan that the user space be directly responsible for the management of VRAM. This was implemented in the kernel as VM_bind. Can we do like the code thing? Code. This was implemented in the kernel as VM_bind, a method that allows by Vulkan. True. Thank you. A method that allows the user space to directly map some memory to the VRAM. It has been required by Vulkan that I don't know, I want to put some emphasis on it. So I know that it's grammatically like retarded, but it has been required by Vulkan that the user space be directly responsible for the management of the VRAM. So that's that will fit my brain, but yes, you're right. It shouldn't be there. This was implemented in the kernel as VM_bind, a method that allows the user space to directly map some VRAM. Do I explain what User Virtual Memory Manager is? Okay, I want to talk about this too. Fuck. Let me read again. The Nouveau driver now supports large pages and compression. So here we're talking about the DRM side driver. It has been a requirement by Vulkan. Yeah. It's going to be better that way. It has been a requirement by Vulkan. It has been a requirement by Vulkan. What? Okay. Requirement by Vulkan that the user space be directly responsible for the management of the VRAM. This is called user virtual memory. Is it really called that way? Yeah, it is. This is called... This concept is called User Virtual Memory Management, UVMM. and was implemented in the kernel as vmbind, a method that allows the user space to directly map some memory to the VRAM. No, but promise a future video will base. Alright. I don't want to yap too much. This concept is called User Virtual Memory Management, UVMM, and was implemented in the kernel as vmbind, a method that allows the user space to directly map some memory to the VRAM. Alright, this is kind of fucking useless for what we're talking about. Before this... Okay, let's put a new line so my brain can focus on this shit. Before this release... the Nuvo driver could only handle for pages the size of the kernel page size. So most likely 4K. This is an issue as the GPU doesn't have the same sophisticated circuitry that allows a CPU to if I talk about page walk, would anybody fucking understand at this point or at the end of the video? I guess a little bit. Page walk. Yeah, okay, we're good. Oh yeah. Okay, that was good. That allows the CPU to efficiently page walk. This means that a greater page size will produce better performance and will produce way better performance. Way better performance. Bro, what the fuck is that? Performance. The compression was added at the same time as the NVIDIA GPUs can only compress when the page size is 64 kilobyte or bigger. Is that right? Yeah. All right, let's just read this. Yeah. Future video again. Yeah, I think I'll cut it there. Okay, let's just read. The Nouveau driver now supports larger page size. The Nouveau driver now supports larger page size and compression. So here we're talking about the DRM side driver. It has been a requirement by Vulkan that the user space be directly responsible for the management of the VRAM. This concept is called User Virtual Memory Management, UVMM, and was implemented in the kernel as VMBind, a method that allows the user space to directly map some memory to the VRAM. Before this release, the Nouveau driver could only handle pages the size of the kernel page size, so most likely 4K. This is an issue. I won't be able to read this. This is an issue as the GPU doesn't have the same sophisticated circuitry that allows a CPU to efficiently page walk. This means that a greater page size will produce way better performance. The compression was added at the same time as NVIDIA GPUs can only compress when the page size is 64 kilobyte or bigger. The link between those two is kind of fucked. This means that a greater page size will produce way better performance. Combine... Oh, that's an idea. Combine with the compression that was added at the same time. This is because fucking hell, that verbiage can only compress or bigger. Nah, that's some shit phrasing right there. Bro. This means that a greater page size will produce way better performance. Maybe I need to declare that after the compression thing. Okay, before this release, the Nouveau driver could only handle pages the size of the kernel page size, so most likely 4 kilobyte. 4 kilobyte. This is an issue as the GPU doesn't have the same sophisticated circuitry that allows a CPU to efficiently page walk. The compression was added at the same time as the NVIDIA GPUs can only compress when the page size is 64 kilobytes or bigger. This means better performance. Better performance for all GPU demanding task. This means a better this means better performance for all GPU demanding task. Yeah, that's a way to end it. Yeah. So let's just put that chunk of knowledge there. Let's go back there. All right. Who gives a fuck? Yeah, neural processing unit. I'm so in, boys. I'm so in. Bro, I did not give a fuck. Alright, what's next? Various other accelerator and graphic driver improvement. Really, bro? Really? DRM, we already know. DRM Panic supports the Intel driver that blue screens of death-like functionality. Nah. How is the documentation going? Going well? We bringing... Like, we're almost there. We almost finished one of the 2 pages. The Intel graphics super color management. Oh my god. Intel graphics scores a big win. Color management. Like, I think that this release will just be a test in how much I can remove from a fucking release. And still make a video out of it. Alright. Good lord. Be interesting. E54 optimized online defragmentation and now supports block size larger than the kernel page size. Coffee. It's not too often seeing multiple new ext4 feature land in a single kernel merge window, but that's the case this round with Linux 6.19. First up, ext4 has optimized its online defragmentation process by leveraging folios rather than individual buffer heads. Okay. That's actually cool. Let's get ext up in here. Now that was a bad one. Okay. Oh my god. For sure something happened, but I wasn't there. Okay, so optimization to the online by leveraging folios rather than individual buffer heads. Alright, what else? I saw earlier that there were some RISC-V GPU released today, which are RV23 compliant. I don't know, I have a hard time, like, vibing about RISC. Like, just because of how backward they are in, like, actual processing power. Like, it feels like even if the design is superior for the task that I would want to do, like, I would still be better off just buying ARM or x86. What are you people's thought on it, RISC-V? Secondly, there is now support for a file system with a block size greater than the page size. This follows other file system also recently adopting support for block size larger than kernel page size, such as infrastructure in 6.19. I swear this was implemented like last release somewhere. XFS probably. Bro, maybe not. Ooh, shit. And really? BTRFS got it in 6.11? And I didn't caught this. Yeah, it's like it's last release that we have like initial support for it, and it's not there yet. What the fuck is this? Then used, okay. ARM is winning, true. Okay. This follows other file system. Okay, and it E54. Okay, let's make an AF yap about this. We also see. No. Support. Does it take 2 P's? Or 1? Brain. Bro! Correct your shit. Right. Support for block size bigger than kernel page size. This is getting added to a lot, fucking hell, a lot of file system. Bro, go fuck yourself. This is getting added to a lot of files. System. We have seen support for it. For XFS was the first that we saw. So XFS was in what? 6.12? Okay, XFS was the first. Okay, so Phoronix is just wrong in their versioning of this shit, but who cares? Who cares? On 6.12 at the same time that VFS was changed to allow the feature. We also talked about it last release with BTRFS. There are two main reasons why you want this feature. The first reason is performance. Actually, Sherry might be winning. Thoughts? Memory safe risk. That sounds like a meme meant to fucking Giga trigger a bunch of people. RISC-V is not yet ready for use in desktop laptop computers. Was it exists our prototype development platform? It is interesting. Future platform still need years of maturity plus improvement. Yeah, that's where I was getting at. Risk. Risk. All right. Performance. Scaling up the block size can yield. Where's the I in this? Yield? Rising performance gain in some benchmark. And here I should leave that benchmark to FS. The file system size. The block size in most file system is the unit that determines. Is that even a word? Determines? Nah, that. I want to say that it enforces, that it obligates, that sets the maximal size of the FS. For example, a 4 kilobyte block size ext4 will be up to 64 size limit per block size. I have this. Why am I searching? I have this. I'm so retarded. I have the biggest fucking documentation, and you're telling me that I did not copy it over. Are you fucking kidding me? Okay. Oh, they're fucking around with it. Bro, this is fucking me up, bro. And I did not put this into my big E54 graph, right? Of course not. You dipshit. Bro. Like, it's all... 1 and 2 kibibytes? For ext4? Maybe. Gonna put some big doubts on that. Oh, this is for 32 bits and oh, okay, thank Lord. Do I give a shit? Do I give a shit? Do I give a shit? I'm not talking about ZB bytes. Let's talk about the 32-bit system. Oh. For example, on a 32-bit machine, while a 64 kilobyte log size ext4 will be up to, whoops, 256 TV byte. Is this just like memory? Up to. Alright, good. Let's just fucking get our sources. Not that source. Rustic based. Oh, it brings much delight to me too. Okay, the block size in most file system is the unit that sets the maximal size of the FS. For example, on a 32-bit machine, a 4 kilobyte block size ext4 and ext4 with 4 kilobyte block size will be up to 16 terabyte, while an ext4 with will be up to 256 terabytes. Alright, so this is fucking readable. Source made it the fuck up. Do you mean the source of the diagram? Because that you're triggering me if that's what you mean. Go fuck yourself, okay? I made it by hand, reading some fucking kernel docs. I fucking did it all, okay? Go fuck yourself. No Gemini in this. Yes, I will become defensive around my fucking like 2 months of life purged. Never will I have these months back. Never. They are gone. Alright. Okay, that was pure triggerness. Okay, so you prompted it. Go fuck yourself, you piece of garbage. Fucking subhuman, rust, writing, piece of shit. Not triggered, by the way. Thanks to you, I am probably going to make that as a 101 on a 2D system. Okay, if you use AI, you wouldn't need so much time, because your productivity would be 100 times higher. Honestly? Probably. Because a big part of starting it off with EXT2 was actually understanding any fucking thing I was looking at. Like a big part of the schematic was like, what the fuck is going on? And why is that written like that? I remain corrected. There's a reason. Oh, fuck me, bro. I don't care. I couldn't care. I care. I do care. Bro, I do care. What the fuck is this? No, that won't work. Add link. We're back. We're so back. All right. True. Shing, 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 shing. God, when I made this, it was lagging so much at the end. Okay. Bro, computer. Okay. I'm losing it. I'm losing it. We're done with EXT, okay? We're done. We did it. We did it. Where's the fuck is my FS change? Fuck you. Okay, I didn't put that, and I should have. Go fuck yourself. Okay. Okay, bro, this is triggering. What the fuck is going on here? Copy. Shortcut. Copy. Shortcut. Thank you. Dear Lord. Also bring performance improvement by enabling you getting fucked. Yeah. So cool. I'll go think about my life for half a second, okay? And then I guess we'll finish the FS part of things. saw the postal worker in front of my house. Was like, what the fuck? He just went away. Was like, what is this? What is this letter? Give me the letter. Are you winning by touching grass? I am. Give me paper noise. Paper noise. It's probably just my fucking tax receipt thing. It is. Am I rich? Interest from Canadian source. 57 and 80 cents. How the fuck did I make that much interest? I don't even have money in your account. What the fuck happened? Thank you. Thank you, Desjardins. I guess. Let's not show this. There's probably like my fucking way too private information. Why the frick am I winning at life? I don't know. Are we winning? Are we winning, boys? What's the oil price? Are we winning again? Oh, it went back down. Everything is dumping but oil. Oil. Bro. Stop. Okay, right now I'm on the fucking monthly. Let's go back to like hour. And that's shoop. Like, what the fuck happened here? I'm just fucking strong-sing the fuck out. Okay. Okay, my cell call was fucking amazing though. So alright. Oh, it was me. I hacked your bank account and did some investments. Based. Alright. Bro, I'm so out of this. I won't be able to read any of this shit. The FS part might be interesting. Goddamn. I guess we'll finish it tomorrow. Hey boy, number one. True, number one. How you guys doing? Do we yap until I go? Do we yap until I go? Do you guys like yaps? Or have we raged enough for today? I think we did. I think we did rage enough. Gemini, make me a sandwich. True, I cannot carry any more rocks. Whew. Oh, a pretty rock. That's exactly it. Exactly it. I'm always good for FS knowledge. True. Me too, but my brain is off. I know. React to LLM Linux content. True. That should be my full-time job. Just reacting, okay? I'm a React streamer now. Brain off. Always yapping. Takes. Always good. Just because I'm fucking giga. Just because I'm arrogant, okay? Okay, there might be some good shit in there. There's one thing to me that is like infinitely fucking garbage. And it is network. Up to a 4-time improvement in every transfer workload, and I'm not even interested. I don't fucking care. Bro, network, I couldn't care less. Like, I cover this because I need to, right? But what the fuck is the goal? Oh, that's going to be a hot skip. Easy one. Rust. Maybe we'll need to have a half a second of Rust. Remove all of the genocide function. That one. I don't know. Nah, fuck it. Let's not talk about it. Why would I even care? Like, it's funny. But Nah. High availability, and distributed computing. This is why network need faster bits. True, it's just that I'm like, it does not feel interesting to me. Why do I not know why I got this idea just now? But you know what I want to do. LLM minus. What the fuck is this? LLM minus is working on AI LLM powered merge conflict resolution for the Linux kernel. Oh boy. The comments on this. What? Only 12? Bro, this cannot be. Surprising. They optimize things to oblivion, yet my PostgreSQL bill is just as high. True! I want to see what the different LLM do. Just keep prompting nothing and letting them alone. With their own supposed thoughts. Well, it's kind of retarded, right? Because what you're doing essentially is just looking at TV static, but with actual words. High availability. I like genocide. Bring it back someday. What is in new kernel? Number goes up. There, I did your... Yes! This is exactly it. This is exactly it. No, like I've talked about it before. It's just a fucked feeling of no matter how much research you do, it won't do shit. Alright. Yeah, I mean the genocide function. The genocide function is kind of fucked, right? Like when you have full context, it becomes even more unhinged. What it is, so D-walk ret, D-genocide kill, and then it gets the root and the parent somehow. So D-genocide, it genocides the pointer for the parent, and you pass it to D-genocide kill. And this is called by kill litter super. Every time. This guy was having a hard time. This guy, like, the shit wasn't compiling. And he was like, fuck this, okay? Some kittens are going to pay. Alright. Enough yapping for today, enough that. I'll go chill. I'll go have my little chill time. And I'll be back tomorrow, okay? I'll be back tomorrow. We're going to finish our research. I don't know about actually making the video. Making the recording for it. I don't know if I'll do that live. In any case. Totally appropriate and normal names for function. Inside of my code, yes. Time. At which time I will start? I seem to always say that I'll start at 9, but I always end up somewhere like at 10, 10 and a half. Just assume that I'll be there between 10 and 11. It's probably a better targeting. Live editing the video would be interesting. Yeah. Maybe, like, streaming the whole process would be interesting. It's just that, well, I don't know. Like, reading the text and doing the voice editing, that part might be a little fucked. I don't think that I'll be, like, it's my brain that will have a hard time doing that on stream. But after that, yes, we could. Const. Shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up. Yes. Clone your voice and let AI talk for you. Based. Recording will not be interesting, but the edits would be. Yeah. That's my thinking about it. Yeah, I'll do that. But that means that we'll do some weekend editing, probably. Instead of going back to Python. God, anyway, enough. Love you all. We'll see each other tomorrow. And, of course, have a great day. Bye-bye. Love you all.